Okay, all right. I really feel like we had a solid practice today. I was real pleased with our leadership. It's getting to a point now our leadership is starting to set the tone of the expectations as far as practice instead of the coaches. That's always a good thing moving forward. I just liked our energy and I liked our attention to detail today on the field.
Is it pretty much the same guys that were leading at the beginning of training camp?
It's pretty much, yeah, there's a lot of similars. And, we've really challenged just the seniors as a group and really to take charge of their team. And really felt like they've done a solid job with that. And then we've got some juniors that are starting to set the tone too. And that's always good, from a coach's standpoint.
Got some new depth chart. Angela Blackson wasn't listed at all in the 2D. What was some of the reasons behind who was where?
Well, like we said, we had a chance an off week to start evaluating things. That's not to say that won't change, but that's the way we're starting out this game.
What was about Nosa that made him perfect fit to slide inside?
Well, we played a lot of guys up front, and we'll continue to play a lot of guys. But he's a guy you can count on, and he's going to do what he's coached to do so far, and so that has a lot to do with it.
None of the injured players were listed. Is that just to see what they would look like in practice this week?
Yeah, we wanted to see exactly what everybody did, and see who was ready, who needed more time.
You still expect everybody to come back and play and be ready to go for Saturday?
We're hoping so.
Justin Garrett's guy who started at the star and then moved inside the weak side. How's he doing?
He's getting more comfortable. Getting more comfortable with that position. He's played it before, so the transition wasn't too hard.
You said you were kind of waiting to see what Chris looked like returning punts. What have you kind of seen? Has he gotten an opportunity to kind of do that? And what have you seen from him?
Yeah, he's been out there catching punts and been out there practicing all week.
Is there any concern that just because he's been injury prone in the past about having to do those two roles, also with punt return where he can get hit?
Kind of like I've said before, we just try to start fresh and not worry about the past and all that, and just try to put the guys in the best position to give us a chance to be successful. He's a senior. We have trust in him. I've got trust in him. He's a tough guy also.
With Chris and Jonathan Jones back in practice, what does the team look like these 2 days thus far with the two of them back in the secondary in particular? Well,
I think anytime you get experienced guys that's played, it kind of gives you a shot in the arm. And of course, depth-wise, it was kind of scary going to the LSU game back there, and that really, helps us get more stability.
Possibility of rain again on Saturday. How do you prepare for that?
Well, the good thing is we have experience in the rain, and I've got to believe we'll be better. The second time than we were first, obviously we've talked about that before. We didn't handle it very well, but there's nothing like experience. There's nothing like going through that the first time.
Is Equays going to move the tackles? Is that something that you see sticking, or is this just one of those things where you see something against Ole Miss you like to?
Well, like I said, I'll just say this: we've played a lot of guys up front. We'll continue to play guys, and we'll mix and match.
How has he looked just in the last few practices playing inside?
He's a veteran guy. He's played a lot of snaps. He was one of the few guys from our 2010 championship team that played. So he's an experienced guy, and he's a guy that you can count on.
Because Jeremy Johnson isn't listed formally on the depth chart, is that any indication as to how you guys feel about a red shirt this season?
With those guys that hadn't played, each individual's different, and we talked to all the different freshmen, different things, but we got a lot of trust in Jeremy. He's done a very good job for us so far.
Anything particular you guys work on? I know you had a lot of time to get ready for this game.
Last week it was really on ourselves, just trying to clean up the little things that it takes to be successful moving forward. And then we started the game planning late last week, but at the same time we're just trying to build upon the things that we feel like we're strong in, and try to eliminate the things that we weren't strong in. So we've got a really good plan, I feel like, moving forward for the rest of the season. Not just schematically, but even personnel-wise.
You feel better about run fits and everything you were talking about yesterday after a couple of days of practice?
You know, I think so. I mean, that's what we'll continue to strive on, to continue to focus on. You know, anytime you focus on something, you improve.
You talked about tempo, you know, kind of necessitated, getting first downs and kind of getting
Yeah.
that rhythm going, but how much does the other team kind of running a tempo offense, if they get in the rhythm, does that kind of force you to almost force a rhythm on yourself or a tempo?
You know, each game unfolds differently, and you always do what gives your team what you feel like is the best chance of being successful. Tempo and pace is a big part of who we are and what we do, and at times, even this year, we played better when we played fast. So, you know, we would like to continue to do that, but like I said, first downs are the key. You got to get first downs, and so far, you know, we've not got the first downs that we'd like, and so we're working on trying to solve that one.
Not a lot of people try to compare Hugh's first year at Ole Miss to your first year here and trying to get back to a bowl game, but how do you think Ole Miss looks just in that jump from year 1 to year 2? Is there notable?
You can tell a difference, there's no doubt. There's nothing like experience. There's nothing like, you know, players knowing, having a full season under their belt with a staff and with a head coach, and, you know, they have a different mindset, and you can see a difference on film.
Jonathan Jones is a kid who played a lot last year as a true freshman, did really well. Is he ready to help you guys yet?
He's practiced this week, and, you know, he's a veteran guy that does have experience like you said.
Tony Stevens listed as a co-starter on the depth chart. Obviously, he's made a big move since he's got healthy. Can you just talk about his development?
Yeah, he's a guy that we really feel like has a chance to be a really good receiver. And, you know, he was banged up in fall camp. They put him a little behind, but he's a guy you'll see more and more out there.
How much of a different vibe have you noticed at practice having all these injured guys back into the fold now?
You know, from a coaching standpoint, you know, the depth, that definitely helps you. You know, I think our players, the competitiveness and the everything that goes with that has got to be a positive too.
What does it say about Tony Stevens that you have him listed as an or with your leading receiver, Sam?
Yeah, we think he's got a chance to be a very good receiver. He just needs experience, and the more he's out there, the more comfortable that he'll become.
Is there potential for him to be a starter, depending on, you know, play selection going forward?
I would hope so.
Yeah, so something that Hugh said in his teleconference today was they've been doing a lot of ones versus ones to try to simulate Saturday. Is that something you guys have experimented with it this week at all?
You know, every week we do some ones-on-ones. Some weeks are more than others. You know, we had a week last week to do a lot of ones-on-ones, so you know that has to help a little bit.
Anything else? Coach?
Thank you.
Thank you.